Okay, welcome to Product and Process Design. In this part, I'm going to show you how to sketch more complicated 3D shapes. In order to create more complicated 3D shapes, we're just going to use the idea of Boolean combinations, meaning that break it up into simple chunks, draw the simple chunks, and in a way that the whole comes out by combining the simple chunks. We'll look at perspective prism combinations, and then we'll look at some organic shapes. So how to think about the idea of Boolean combination? Well, here's an example of a crane or other types of large vehicles, but you can kind of look at it from the first piece. So here you have a couple of simple cylinders, and then those cylinders are combined up here, right? Just illustrating it here. Then you have a cube on top, right? And thing is sitting here. Then you complete that. You have the cube, and then you start drawing the cabin for the person sitting on top of it, right? And once you're there, you can start finishing all of these, like as you see here. So a little bit more detail on the inside and the various areas. So you continue on that, but then when you're finalizing, you're just going on the dark around the whole. It kind of makes it pop out, and you have a more finalized sketch out here. So you can do this just by practicing more and just getting better at it. Let's try this practice with a camera, for instance. So out here, if I try to illustrate this, you may want to think of it as simply a big rectangular parallelepiped. So the big one is here. That's a big chunk. And then you may want to build on top of it. And if there's a circle here, that's what you need there. You get that, and that. There's some additional construction lines for you to get the inside if you want, but basically you just kind of home that in. And you can similarly do all the other pieces of the camera. Maybe you have something here, it's cylindrical, so you have that, right, and so on. Maybe there's a piece here, and perhaps it's half the size here going up here, half the size going up, so you kind of got the slope for that just by divvying up. Okay, I think you kind of get the idea of how to take more complicated shapes and break them into simpler ones, and you'll get better at it. This is just first level for sketching, and each time I do, I feel like I'm just warming up, but as you practice, you'll get better. Okay, so now that you have some better understanding of Booleans, why don't we take a look at some other types of shapes up here. So here you have a little bit of interpolation, some curves between the two sides. So you kind of, once you get your cuboid, you can just do this, and you can kind of see, like, a car or other things are simply extensions of this idea, and you get your details later. A little bit about organic shapes. If you look at this, maybe this is a spiny anteater, but basically breaking it up into simple primitives works for 2D also. So practice sketching something else, keep the object in front of you and get it out. It doesn't have to be a tractor, but it can be something which composes of multiple primitives, which when put together give you the whole shape. So I want you to become just better at building up the sketch, adding blocks and shapes to build up the sketch. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next module.